Hello everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Rumana Ali. I hope you all are fine. Each factor in detail. So the first one is indiscriminate use of fertilizers. The chemical fertilizers are the compounds like superphosphate, urea, sulfates, ammonium phosphates. So these are all chemical fertilizers that are chemical compounds. So if the farmers use these chemical fertilizers extensively, then it leads to soil pollution. So these chemical fertilizers are the compounds that can be made in the factories, that can be prepared in the factories by using some raw materials. So let us see how to prepare superphosphate. So to prepare the superphosphate, the raw material which is required is phosphorus, and this phosphorus can be obtained from soil. Along with the phosphorus, some traces elements like lead and cadmium is also present in the soil, and these are present in very minute quantity. In a very minute quantity, these substances are present in the soil. They cannot be separated from the soil. So along with the phosphorus, lead and cadmium also present. So these elements are used in making the chemical fertilizer called superphosphate. So if the superphosphate is sprayed into the fields, if it is used as a chemical fertilizers to increase the crop production or to improve the quality of the plant, then it shows some negative effect because of the presence of some elements like lead and cadmium. As the lead and cadmium is present, these substances, after spraying onto the fields, it seeps down into the ground and reaches the ground level. When it reaches the groundwater, it pollutes the groundwater. As the superphosphate is a compound or it is a chemical fertilizer, so by using this superphosphate in the agricultural fields, it leads to the soil pollution, because in the superphosphate some lead and cadmium traces elements are also present which are non-biodegradable. These substances or these elements are non-biodegradable substances, and it leads to soil pollution. Okay, one more chemical fertilizer is NPK. To make this NPK, different raw materials are required that are obtained from the soil. And if the farmers use extensively this chemical fertilizer, if NPK is used extensively in the fields, then it decreases the carbohydrate of the grains. The carbohydrate which is present in the grains, it is reduced. The amount of the carbohydrate decreases because of spraying the chemical fertilizer called NPK. And also, so excess use of potassium, K stands for potassium. So this excess use of potassium decreases the carotene, vitamin C level of different fruits and vegetables. So in this way, excess use of chemical fertilizers decreases the crop production, and it also decreases the nutritive value of different fruits and vegetables. Not only that, the plants that are grown by using these chemical fertilizers, they are prone to insects. The insects are also coming and they are attracting towards these different plants in which the chemical fertilizers are sprayed, and they are also damaging the plant. So in this way, the excessive or indiscriminate use of chemical fertilizers leads to the soil pollution. It also decreases the nutritive value of the different products and also decreases the crop production. तो अभी हम बात करेंगे इंडिस्क्रिमिनेट यूज़ ऑफ फर्टिलाइजर्स के बारे में. फर्टिलाइजर्स यानी केमिकल कंपाउंड्स होते हैं, जैसा कि है एनपीके, सुपरफॉस्फेट, यूरिया, सल्फेट्स, अमोनियम फॉस्फेट. और ये वाले केमिकल कंपाउंड्स को फैक्ट्री में प्रिपेयर किया जाता है रॉ मटेरियल्स का इस्तेमाल करके. तो अभी हम एक केमिकल कंपाउंड या फिर हम केमिकल फर्टिलाइज़र भी बोल सकते हैं, उसको किस तरह से प्रिपेयर किया जा सकता है वो देखेंगे. ठीक है, तो फॉस्फोरस एक ऐसा एलिमेंट है जो कि सॉइल में प्रेजेंट होता है, और सुपरफॉस्फेट केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर है. इसको बनाने के लिए फॉस्फोरस का इस्तेमाल करना ज़रूरी होता है. तो अब ये फॉस्फोरस को एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं सॉइल में से. जब फॉस्फोरस को ऑब्टेन करते हैं सॉइल में से जब फॉस्फोरस ऑब्टेन किया जाता है, सॉइल में से जब फॉस्फोरस ऑब्टेन किया जाता है तो इसके साथ में थोड़े से ट्रेस एलिमेंट्स होते हैं जो कि बहुत ही माइन्यूट क्वांटिटी में प्रेजेंट होते हैं, वो है लेड और कैडमियम। इसको सेपरेट करना बहुत मुश्किल, ये वाले सब्सटेंसेस को सेपरेट नहीं किया जा सकता है। तो फॉस्फोरस के साथ में ये वाले सब्सटेंसेस भी प्रेजेंट होते हैं रॉ मटेरियल की तरह सुपर फॉस्फेट को बनाने के लिए। अब ये जो मटेरियल और ये जो एलिमेंट्स है, तो सुपर फॉस्फेट एक ऐसा केमिकल फर्टिलाइज़र है जिसको बनाने के लिए रॉ मटेरियल्स फॉस्फोरस की ज़रूरत पड़ती है, और ये फॉस्फोरस सॉइल में से ऑब्टेन किया जाता है। फॉस्फोरस के साथ में लेड और कैडमियम के भी एलिमेंट्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं। ये लेड और कैडमियम ऐसे एलिमेंट्स हैं जो कि नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल है। तो इस नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल सब्सटेंसेस की वजह से सॉइल पोल्यूशन हो जाता है, ठीक है, यानी सॉइल पोल्यूट हो जाती है, सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी कम हो जाती है और प्रॉपर्टीज़ भी डिस्टर्ब्ड हो जाते हैं। अभी एक केमिकल फर्टिलाइज़र है जो कि है NPK। ये वाले फर्टिलाइज़र को अगर हम ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो कार्बोहाइड्रेट जो भी प्रेजेंट होता है ग्रेन्स में वो डिक्रीज़ हो जाता है, और इसकी वजह से क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन भी डिक्रीज़ हो जाता है। और अगर पोटेशियम का ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल किया जाए फील्ड्स में तो कैरोटीन, विटामिन C जो प्रेजेंट होता है फ्रूट्स और वेजिटेबल्स में, वो डिक्रीज़ हो जाता है, उसका लेवल कम हो जाता है। तो इसके लिए एक्सेस अमाउंट ऑफ फर्टिलाइज़र्स यूज़ नहीं करना चाहिए, जितना रिक्वायर्ड है प्रॉपर अमाउंट में यूज़ करना चाहिए। और बेहतर है कि केमिकल फर्टिलाइज़र्स से ज़्यादा बायो फर्टिलाइज़र्स का इस्तेमाल किया जाए ताकि क्रॉप क्वालिटी और क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन दोनों भी अच्छे से मेंटेन्ड हो सके। ओके, लेट अस डिस्कस अबाउट the other factor, that is indiscriminate use of pesticides. Pesticides are the substances or the chemicals that are sprayed into the fields to control the pests. After World War II, the two main pesticides were used extensively, and that pesticides are DDT and Gamaxine. The full form of DDT is dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane. DDT stands for dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane. This is the full form of DDT, which is a pesticide. So here, by using extensively DDT and Gamaxine, which are the pesticides in the agricultural field, it leads to the soil pollution. Okay, so the farmers are using these chemical pesticides to control the pests or the insects which are present in their agricultural field. But as they are using the DDT and Gamaxine extensively, that means in the larger amount, then it leads to the soil pollution. So whatever the chemicals that are present as DDT and Gamaxine, they are mixing up with the soil and damages the soil and damages the soil properties. So it leads to the soil pollution, and farmers, as they are using extensively these chemicals or these pesticides, the insects, instead of dying, they are becoming resistant. So excess usage or excess use of DDT and Gamaxine makes the insects resistant to these pesticides, and after applying or after spraying these pesticides also, they are not killed as they become resistant to these pesticides. So excessive amount of pesticides should be reduced. Only a particular amount of the pesticides should be sprayed to control the pests or the insects. And this dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane, that means DDT, it is very soluble in water, so it can be easily absorbed by the soil, and after absorbing by the soil, when it reaches the groundwater, then the groundwater is also becoming polluted by the presence of these pesticides. And if that groundwater is consumed by the living organism, then it leads to many severe problems. Certain birds like falcon, brown pelican, ospreys and eagles. So these are the birds that are depending on the groundwater. The water which is present under the ground, they are depending on that water. If the groundwater is polluted by these pesticides, and if that polluted water is consumed by these birds, then that polluted water can adversely affect these kind of birds. If they consume that polluted water, or if they consume the water which is polluted by these pesticides, it decreases the chemical metabolism. It affects the calcium metabolism. So these birds needs calcium, they require calcium in order to make the egg shells. So if the calcium is not prepared, or if the calcium is not, so if the requirement of the calcium is not fulfilled by these birds, then the eggs which are laid by them, it is not showing the presence of eggshell. The eggs which are laid by these birds, they will be without outer covering, without the eggshell. But if the eggs are laid by these birds without the eggshell, then they would not be grown into the young ones. They cannot convert it into young ones, or the young ones cannot be produced from that eggs. So in this way, these species become endangered, as the chemical metabolism of these birds are affected by consuming the polluted water, or by consuming the water which is or by consuming the water which shows the presence of pesticides. It decreases the calcium level in these birds, and due to the lesser amount of the calcium present in these birds, the eggs are produced without the shell, and that eggs are not converting into the young ones. Therefore, the species becomes endangered. Endangered means day by day these birds are decreasing in number. So in this way, it affects the species also. It affects the number of the organisms in the environment. So indiscriminate use of pesticides pollutes the water as well as it causes the soil pollution. तो अभी हम बात करेंगे indiscriminate use of pesticides के बारे में. वर्ल्ड वार 2 के बाद में 2 ऐसे पेस्टिसाइड्स है जो कि एक्सटेंसिवली यूज़ किए गए हैं, और वो है DDT और गैमैक्सिन. DDT यानी डाइक्लोरो डाइफिनाइल ट्राइक्लोरोईथेन. ये एक ऐसा पेस्टिसाइड है, अगर फार्मर्स ये DDT को ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल करेंगे फील्ड्स में, तो फिर ये इंसेक्ट्स और पेस्ट को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि इंसेक्ट्स और पेस्ट जो भी प्रेजेंट होते हैं एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड में, वो रेजिस्टेंट हो जाएंगे. इंसेक्टिसाइड्स और पेस्टिसाइड्स के रेजिस्टेंट हो जाएंगे. पेस्ट और इंसेक्टिसाइड के जैसे केमिकल्स को स्प्रे करने के बाद भी इंसेक्ट्स और पेस्ट को कंट्रोल नहीं किया जा सकता. तो इस चीज़ को हम बोलेंगे इंसेक्ट और पेस्ट रेसिस्टेंट. अब जब ये DDT और गैमैक्सिन फील्ड्स में स्प्रे किया जाता है, तो ये सॉइल के थ्रू ग्राउंड वाटर में भी सीप डाउन होता है और ग्राउंड वाटर को भी पोल्यूट करता है. थोड़े से ऐसे बर्ड्स हैं जैसा कि है फैल्कन, ब्राउन पेलिकन, ऑस्प्रेज, ईगल्स. ये वाले बर्ड्स वाटर के ऊपर ही डिपेंड होते हैं. तो अब जब ये वाटर कंज्यूम किया जाता है ये बर्ड से जो कि पोल्यूटेड है, तब ये पोल्यूटेड वाटर जैसे ही ये बर्ड्स कंज्यूम करेंगे, इनका कैल्शियम मेटाबॉलिज्म डिक्रीज हो जाएगा. कैल्शियम जो भी प्रेजेंट होता है इनके बॉडी में वो डिक्रीज होने लगेगा. लेकिन इनकी एग्स जो प्रोड्यूस होते हैं, जो ये एग्स ले करते हैं, उसके ऊपर का शेल बनाने के लिए कैल्शियम बहुत ज़्यादा रिक्वायर्ड होता है. तो अब ये कैल्शियम अगर लेसर अमाउंट में प्रेजेंट होगा तो एगशेल प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पाएंगे ये बर्ड्स, और जो भी एग्स एगशेल के बिना होते हैं वो यंग वंस में टर्न नहीं होंगे. तो इस तरह से ये वाले बर्ड्स की स्पीशीज एंडेंजर्ड होने लगी, यानी ये वाले बर्ड्स डिक्रीज होने लगे एनवायरनमेंट में. सो दीज आर द कॉजेज that can be seen by using pesticides extensively. So apart from DDT and gamaxin, there are some other pesticides like BHC, organophosphates, dialtrine, furodan, aldrin, malathion. These are all chemical substances that are used as the pesticides in the agricultural field, and these are also the harmful substances that decreases the crop production, and also it shows the adverse effect on the soil, and it also shows its effects on the living organisms. So this is about indiscriminate use of pesticides, which is one of the factors that causes soil pollution. So the next one is biomagnification. Nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, these are required by the different plants, and these nutrients are available in the water naturally, but in small quantity. These are present in the water naturally in a small quantity. So the plants that lives in the water, the small plants that are present or that lives in the water, they are called as phytoplanktons. These phytoplanktons absorbs the water in order to get the nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium from this water. But as we have studied before, that the water is getting polluted because of using chemical fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides. So if this water is consumed by the phytoplankton, so along with the nutrients, some insecticides and pesticides is also getting accumulated in the body of phytoplanktons. Now these phytoplanktons are eaten up by some small fishes, and these small fishes are eaten up by some birds. These birds can be eaten by some human beings. So here in this food chain, we can clearly see that the negligible amount of the pesticides or the pollutants which are present in the water, which was accumulated by the phytoplanktons, these pollutants or the pesticides or insecticides is getting accumulated in the small fishes, but in a larger amount. So how the amount of these insecticides or pesticides increases at each trophic level. So here we can say that the phytoplanktons are the small plants, and after getting the nutrients or after absorbing the pollutant water, the pesticides or the insecticides accumulated in their body. And this phytoplankton, when are eaten up by the small fishes, that pesticides or insecticides are transferred into the small fishes, into the body of the small fishes. As they are eating many phytoplanktons, so all together contain some or the other insecticides or pesticides accumulated in the body. So that insecticides or the pesticide substances are getting transferred into the small fishes in a larger amount. And here we can say that if 10 small fishes are eaten up by one bird, then all the insecticides or pesticides or the pollutants that are present in all the 10 fishes, they are accumulated into the body of the bird, and if the bird is eaten up by the man, then that is transferred into the body of the man. So in this way, the negligible amount of the pesticides or the insecticides that are present in the phytoplankton, it is increasing at each trophic level, and this increased concentration of pesticides and insecticides at each trophic level can be termed as biomagnification. This biomagnification shows adverse effects on the top carnivores that are present in the food chain. Biomagnification यानी nutrients जैसे कि है नाइट्रोजन, फॉस्फोरस, पोटेशियम, ये सारे न्यूट्रिएंट्स नेचुरली वाटर में प्रेजेंट होते हैं, और ये वाटर में इंसेक्टिसाइड्स और पेस्टिसाइड्स भी प्रेजेंट होते हैं. अब जब ये वाटर में से ये एलिमेंट्स को एब्जॉर्ब करने के लिए फाइटोप्लैंक्टन वाटर यूज़ करते हैं, वाटर कंज्यूम करते हैं, तो ये न्यूट्रिएंट्स के साथ में इंसेक्टिसाइड्स और पेस्टिसाइड्स जैसे केमिकल्स भी फाइटोप्लैंक्टन की बॉडी के अंदर ट्रांसफर हो जाते हैं, और ये फाइटोप्लैंक्टन के बॉडी के अंदर अक्यूमुलेट हो जाते हैं. ये फाइटोप्लैंक्टन्स को जब स्मॉल फिशेस कंज्यूम करते हैं एज ए फूड, तो उसके अंदर का जो केमिकल सब्सटेंसेस थे वो ट्रांसफर होते हैं स्मॉल फिशेस में. इसी तरह से हर एक ट्रॉफिक लेवल पर ट्रांसफर होते जाता है इंसेक्टिसाइड्स और पेस्टिसाइड्स जो कि हार्मफुल केमिकल्स है, और हर एक ट्रॉफिक लेवल पे वो इंक्रीज होते जाता है. फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पर एक बर्ड अगर 10 स्मॉल फिशेस को कंज्यूम करेगी, तो 10 फिशेस की बॉडी में जितना भी इंसेक्टिसाइड और पेस्टिसाइड रहेगा वो सारा ट्रांसफर किया जाएगा और वो बर्ड के बॉडी के अंदर अक्यूमुलेट हो जाएगा. सो इन दिस वे हर एक ट्रॉफिक लेवल पर, एक फूड चेन की हर एक ट्रॉफिक लेवल पर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन जो है पेस्टिसाइड्स और इंसेक्टिसाइड्स का वो इंक्रीज होता जाएगा, और इस इंक्रीज कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ chemical substances or pesticides or insecticides can be termed as biomagnification. Okay, let us discuss about dumping of solid waste. Here, this practice adversely affect the soil and it leads to soil pollution. Let us see how many kinds of wastes are there. So, the waste can be generated as municipal waste, hazardous waste and infectious waste. Municipal waste means the waste that can be generated by the household activities or from the offices. That waste can be termed as municipal waste, and that waste contains both biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste in a combination. Some of the waste can be degraded by the microbial action, but some of the waste cannot. So the waste that cannot be degraded, it includes polythene covers or tin bags, tin cans. So these are the waste that cannot be degraded, and the dumping of this kind of waste into the soil leads to the soil pollution. It causes many problems, so it leads to soil pollution. So in the municipal waste, we can write household waste or offices waste. The next is hazardous waste. Here, the waste that can be generated or that are produced by the industrial activities, that waste can be termed as hazardous waste. And this waste which are generated from the industries or the factories, they are thrown away on the land without any proper disposal system, because of which it also causes soil pollution. The infectious waste includes hospital waste or the human excreta. The waste that is generated from the hospitals, like used needles, syringes, all these medical waste can be termed as infectious waste. So the medical waste that is generated from the hospitals, that can be included as infectious, or that can be called as infectious waste. And even human excreta, whatever the waste that is excreted out by the humans, that is also an infectious waste. So these are the different kinds of waste that are dumping. Because of the dumping of these solid waste, it leads to soil pollution. The soil is getting polluted. Some chemical, petrol product, or some other industries, metal industries, all these industries are generating some waste that is very dangerous. The waste which is generated from these industries is creating many problems in the environment. And if these chemicals are stored in the underground tanks, and if the tanks oozes out these chemicals into the water, then it leads to the water pollution also. The groundwater or the water bodies can also be getting polluted by these chemicals. During the process of melting of metals like mercury and lead, cadmium, these are very heavy metals. So during this process, they can be thrown, or the waste which is generated during this process is thrown away, or it is thrown into the soil, because of which the soil is getting polluted and it leads to soil pollution. So in this way, the dumping of the solid waste is a very severe cause of soil pollution. The other cause of soil pollution is deforestation. So why do people cut down the trees? Why do they go for deforestation? So the people cut down the trees, or they clear up the forest in order to make the homes, or if the land is not sufficient for agriculture, then they cut down the trees which are present in the forest and they use that land for agriculture. Okay, so to use the land for agriculture and also for urbanization. So the deforestation is cutting down the trees of the forest or clearing up the land of the forest in order to go for agriculture or in order to make the homes for the people. But this leads to soil pollution. So because of this practice, the environmental problems can be created and it will be very problematic for the soil also. The soil loses its fertility because of the deforestation. How it loses its fertility? Because of the deforestation. So now, after cutting down the plants, the soil is vacant and the topsoil can be easily washed away by wind or by the water. And we know that topsoil contain organic matter and microorganisms also, that shows the microbial activity. So if the soil is vacant, if there are no trees present on the land, then the topsoil can be washed away easily by wind or the water, and as the topsoil contain organic matter or the microorganisms, these are also washed away. So by this, the soil loses its fertility and the disturbance in the environment can be created by this. This washing away of the sand or washing away of the soil by the wind or the water is termed as soil erosion. So because of the deforestation, the soil erosion takes place. We know that forest makes up an ecosystem and it is a habitat of many animals. It provides oxygen also and it gives many different products for the human consumption, for fulfilling the human requirement, and it also shows the diversity among the different living organisms. But if the forests are clearing up for setting up the industries for agricultural purposes or for urbanization, it leads to soil pollution, it deteriorates the soil and the properties of the soil gets improper or it is becoming improper and the environmental balance is disturbed because of deforestation. डिफॉरेस्टेशन यानी फॉरेस्ट के जितने भी ट्रीज है उसको कट कर देना और लैंड सॉइल को वेकेंट रखना, या तो एग्रीकल्चर के लिए या फिर हाउस बिल्ड करने के लिए या फिर इंडस्ट्रीज को सेटअप करने के लिए. लेकिन ये वाली एक्टिविटी की वजह से सॉइल में कई तरह के प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं जिसकी वजह से सॉइल पोल्यूशन होता है. ठीक है, तो अब यहाँ पर जब फॉरेस्ट के ट्रीज को कट कर दिया जाएगा तो सॉइल वेकेंट हो जाएगी, खाली हो जाएगी और इसकी वजह से टॉप सॉइल जो प्रेजेंट होती है वो इजीली वॉश्ड हो सकती है विंड और वाटर के थ्रू, और ये वॉशिंग अवे ऑफ द टॉप सॉइल को हम बोलेंगे सॉइल इरोजन। सॉइल इरोजन यानी टॉप सॉइल वॉश अवे हो जाना, ठीक है। टॉप सॉइल में ऑर्गेनिक मैटर और माइक्रोबियल एक्टिविटी प्रेजेंट होता है। अगर ये वाले माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स और ऑर्गेनिक मैटर वॉश अवे हो जाएंगे तो जो भी सॉइल बची हुई रहेगी वो यूजलेस रहेगी। उसके अंदर ना तो प्लांट्स ग्रो किए जा सकते हैं और ना ही सॉइल में वाटर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी बची हुई होती है। तो इसकी वजह से सॉइल फर्टिलिटी भी इम्बैलेंस हो जाती है, सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी भी खराब हो जाती है। तो डिफॉरेस्टेशन भी एक मेजर कॉज है सॉइल पोल्यूशन का। सो दिस इज अबाउट द डिफरेंट फैक्टर्स दैट आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल to cause the land pollution or the soil pollution. That's all for today. Meet you in next class. Thank you.